What's up, the squad? Back with another video. I seen that I was going down. Make sure you hit the like button and the subscribe button for me, please. Y'all see it right here. What's going on with Ilhan Omar is definitely wild. I feel like as I'm going into seeing more and more videos that she's putting out, that, you know, people are putting out who she's, you know, whether if it's by herself, whether if it's on the news, whether if it's an interview, whether it's a podcast. There's different things of trying to make sure the spotlight isn't on her, and you know the fraud, you know, that obviously she's not only around, but her being the godmother of, you know, most definitely. This right here, you know, and I'm gonna show you a few clips just based off of obviously what she's trying to do. And the simple fact of it's, I feel like it's very important to, I guess you can say, clean house. And I say that more so because of all the fraud that's going on in Minnesota and other places within Somalians. Check it out right here.
If we're not going to go back to pre-2002 in looking at how these agencies used to operate without this level of brutality that we are seeing, then we need to figure out a different system.
When we get power back, we have to dismantle them. And we can go back to immigration enforcement as a civil system, because that's what it is.
What do you make of that?
Well, I'm sure Omar would love for ICE to go away, right? Because she has her own issues.
Right.
But bottom
She got her own
line is,
issues.
you know, think about this. Members of Congress want to abolish the Department of Homeland Security that was established after the tragedy 9/11, right? And they want to abolish the agency that enforces the laws that they wrote, right? But they want to attack ICE and call them racists and Nazis and the secret police. Well, if we're the Nazis for enforcing the immigration law, what's that make them? They wrote the law. So look, we're doing the same thing we've done for 40 years. I started in 1984. We're enforcing the immigration law. Problem is, for the last 4 years, they weren't enforcing the immigration law. Every one of them are complicit because they didn't say anything about the open border. Over 10 million people illegally cross that border. We got over, 2 million known gotaways. We got a record number of terrorists and criminals coming across that border. A record number of sex trafficking of women and children. Enough fentanyl, 250,000 Americans. Over 4,000 aliens died making that journey. And where were they? They weren't saying a word. They're complicit. We're fixing what they broke.
It's definitely pretty crazy. I apologize, y'all. I actually just heard a car door close outside of my home. I done had some issues with, you know, obviously people. I've been having some issues with, you know, it's been people that has been recording, that have recorded us. You know, we've been trying to be real careful, like taking different detours and all of that around. We have a lot of cameras, you know, that surround our house, though, and all of that. And y'all see that back there, so you already know. But I definitely be having to watch, and I have to be checking. So sometimes y'all see me put my head down or something like that, and I'm not really that focused like I should be. That's why. But I definitely apologize for that, y'all. But y'all see it. I mean, it's definitely true. It's definitely true. One thing about it is that she always, she tries not to put that focus on her, obviously, because of her own problems. I mean, just being real. You have Somalians literally demanding reparations from the U.S. government. I'm telling you,
This program fits into our criteria of small business owners, not those who make 200,000 and above. We don't make that much amount. We have been suffering since the crisis of ICE. We also demand an immediate help to evictions so families are not pushed to homelessness during the crisis. Our community deserves accountability. Our community deserves safety. We need also justice for those who lost their lives defending the community.
So my thing is, you know, and this last part always gets me because I didn't play this before. The last part always gets me because she says, you know, the people that lost their lives, you know, for this community, this, you know, and saying that. And my thing is, they didn't care about you see no type of Somalian that not at all have been at the protests. And that's why I find like insane, because you have so many people that constantly support Tim Walz, Ilhan Omar, and the Somalians. And the Somalis don't give, I almost had me cuss. They don't care. Like, they truly do not care. They care about themselves. And I'm going to show y'all that they truly do not care. Ilhan Omar does not care. I'm telling y'all. Check it out.
Somalian people in Minneapolis is not your problem. Your problem is you. You have issue within yourself. You have to fix yourself first. Minnesota Somalian is not the issue of your life. You gotta go take care of yourself and your family. You gotta pay your bills.
So the thing is with this guy, and I'm pretty sure I've seen him before. Not even trying to be funny. Probably somebody that looked like him. I promise you, I'm not trying to be like that. I'm being dead serious. I'm pretty sure he's put out a post before. Otherwise, he literally has somebody that looks just like him. But literally says the Somalis in Minnesota is not the problem. Everyone who's mad has an internal problem. You need to work on yourselves. This right here, obviously, he has to be trolling, because there is no way in hell that he believes this is true. Somalis in Minnesota is definitely the problem when it comes to, they have gang wars in the apartment buildings. They said that they have. Not only that, they have plenty. When I say plenty of fraud that's going on. It's too much going on with that. Nobody can tell me any different. I'm telling y'all, nobody can tell me any different. Check it out right here, CNN.
Simple question. Why is all this happening in Minneapolis? Why? Why has this become the domestic war zone? What is the reason? Is there a specific area that has caused this? Why? Because I think that's really the question. On a bipartisan basis, why is that not a reasonable question?
Let me just ask you.
Why
let me
this
just answer.
place?
Let me offer some possibilities. Minneapolis is a city of fewer than 500,000 people. The Trump administration decided to send 3,000 federal officers to that one city.
Why did they send them?
Which is more than they have sent anywhere else, including
send
Chicago of 3 million, Los Angeles.
But why?
Anywhere. Why? Well, according to Trump, it's because they're going after fraud. But again,
could there be fraud, Abby? Maybe.
Minneapolis is not unique.
What
in
about that
having
fraud?
jails
What about
that don't let ICE in, but they are
if you're going to go after fraud,
having
you send
thousands of federal officers on the ground. That is the only part
Well, why don't
about
we
this
just
that
talk
is
about
unique.
fraud for a minute?
But it's not fraud, Kevin. Like, that is BS.
What is
so
it?
he's saying fraud.
A lot of money missing. A lot of money missing.
Use these unless it's
Taxpayers are asking.
They're sending them. He is targeting Minnesota because he keeps claiming he won it. He has not, and they are already trying to sow discord.
I think you're deflecting the issue
I'm not
of the money
because what
that's
we're talking
missing.
about is a congresswoman who got attacked tonight.
You know what I
So
like
you're
about
deflecting.
fraud? It's
So
binary.
let me just answer your question.
Yes.
Congresswoman Ilhan Omar was attacked tonight. That is the actual issue.
What does that have to do with fraud?
Understandably, that's not the topic that we're talking about.
Oh, I'm talking about fraud right now.
Okay, well, right now you're listening.
Kevin.
No, I'm asking about fraud.
So the thing is within this, and what I find, pretty, very much so disturbing, is the simple fact that when something is called out, regardless, when something is called out, and it's the fraud that you're talking about, how you know that they're very much so in denial about it is because they constantly more so defend not only Ilhan Omar, but the Somalians that are constantly taking America's money. Like, I find it crazy. Like, I truly find it crazy. Like, I don't know how hard it is. Like, when I first started doing this a few years back, I always wondered, why are so many people in denial about what's going on? I always wondered, how hard is it for people to actually realize what's truly going on? I'm not saying that you have to go full Trump mode. I'm not saying that you have to go full, I'm not saying you have to do anything. I'm not even telling y'all who y'all need to vote for. I'd obviously give out suggestions. I guess I will say, the truth and give out your facts. But at the same time, how hard is it for you to just have common sense about what's going on? I feel like that's the main thing that I had when I first doing this. It's so many people that have been listening. I don't know if they're brown. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. But it's like a lot of this stuff is very much so common sense, especially something like this. You constantly seeing the fire go on. Why do they keep saying on how many people is in Minnesota and all because this amount? Like me personally, I don't understand it. I truly don't understand that. You had this Ilhan Omar. Not only that of dealing with the fraud, you literally have Omar that has been in. Again, this is something that I find completely crazy. You have Ilhan Omar that, and this goes to show you that they do not care, bro. I don't know how many times that I have to tell y'all this. When I say they don't care, obviously, you talk about the left, but when I say Ilhan Omar, when I say, really a lot, most of the Somalians, they don't care about Americans, bro. They truly don't. They truly don't. And it's almost like a pattern, when it's Muslims, and it's a pattern. You got Ilhan Omar that has been on the podcast with Hassan Piker. She got questioned about it, and I'm pretty sure she didn't have nothing to say.
Hey, since you just appeared on a stream with your best friend Hassan Piker, will you disavow Piker's rhetoric that America deserved 9/11? And if you really cared about Medicaid, Medicare fraud, you Senator Rick Scott. You think those remarks are appropriate, Congresswoman?
I'm telling y'all.
Are you refusing to disavow Piker's America deserved 9/11 comments because you're a Muslim too?
Bro, if y'all don't find that crazy, I truly don't know what else to tell y'all. Like, especially like the whole Hassan Piker dude. I truly feel like if y'all don't find that insane about what he said, especially with 9/11, and it's like I truly feel like y'all, there's some stuff you need to just I'm trying not to judge. People need to wake up. I say that. People need to wake up. Says here, Senator Tommy Tuberville is done playing games. Ilhan Omar needs to go. I hope I said the name right. Says after J.D. Vance confirmed Ilhan Omar committed immigration fraud, Tuberville is demanding Speaker Mike Johnson to strip her from every committee, just like Pelosi did to Republicans. Check it out.
We were at the White House, and we were interviewing J.D. Vance. And we were interviewing him about fraud, and he just popped off a question about Ilhan Omar. And I had never heard nobody in an official capacity has ever said this before, but he said, no, we know that Ilhan Omar is here illegally, meaning she lied on her immigration forms and she committed immigration fraud. We know that. We have the documentation. Stephen Miller has the documentation. What should happen to Ilhan Omar, Senator?
Well, first of all, if I was the leader of the Senate and something like that happened, or if I'm Speaker of the House, Speaker of the House has the ability, which Nancy Pelosi did, by the way, took people off of committees, pretty much tie your hands of anything you can do to have any kind of responsibility. We should do that. She should not be allowed to walk in any committee room, do anything in terms of making a vote for or against the United States of America, which normally they're against. But we have to hold people accountable. Nobody's held accountable.
Nobody. And I truly feel like not even trying to be funny when it comes down to it. Like I said, really a lot. And I feel like so many people aren't, it's a lot of people that obviously don't agree with me and stuff like that. But at the same time, I just look at the simple fact that me personally, I feel like when it comes to Tim Walz, he's the first person that they're going to make an example of. I truly feel like that. I don't know. I can't tell y'all more, about Tim Walz, but me personally, I think so. I definitely think so. It's just one of those common sense things. People need to pay attention. They need to realize, stop being I feel like, again, so many people are brainwashed when it comes down to the stuff that's happening around them. I know a lot of people in Minnesota, the real Minnesotans, are tired of it. I can tell y'all that right now. This is Latina Brown says time for Governor Tim Walz and Ilhan Omar to resign for our corruption. waste, happened on your watch, and whistleblowers are coming forward and said that, both of them are a disgrace to this country, to resign. Check it out.
It's time for Governor Tim Walz to resign, and it's time for Congresswoman Ilhan Omar to resign, be denaturalized, and deported, because she is the main ringleader of all of this. There is no way in hell that these two elected officials did not know about the fraud, the corruption, the money laundering, the scams, you name it. And to top it off, you have people who work at these agencies who are coming forward, whistleblowers. So there's no getting away from it. The politicians are beyond corrupt. And to top it off, to add insult, you have a foreigner who hates this country, who made it her business to reap the benefits here in our country, but she can't reap the benefits in her own country because you know why? They hate us so much. But they take our tax dollars and send it to these terrorist organizations who want to hurt us. Those are not the type of people we want to keep in our country. They do not want to assimilate with the American values or our culture. They want to infiltrate and destroy from within. President Trump, we need for you to send these people home. Send them back because they are not part of the U.S. They are not part of our culture. And
Facts.
They will do more harm than good for our country. Send them back.
You got it. I'm telling y'all. And that's real. It ain't nothing to throw nobody down. It ain't nothing like, this is just real. Like, it's one of those things of like common sense. It's nothing to bash nobody. It's nothing to talk crazy. This is like true live facts. It's true live facts. And I absolutely love her, for saying that. I'm not going to lie. This is, obviously, it's Oregon State Senator Casey Jama. I'm pretty sure that's how you say his name. This individual right here, and I this is why I show this. People need to pay attention. This is a pattern. It's almost like they're planning and planning and planning. That's what it seems like to me. Like, honestly, I'm not trying to scare them. I'm being dead serious. Like, it seems more so of getting a plan together with everything when it's the money's been taken, testing everything out, and just doing, different things. Just if you look over my recent videos, just seeing, when it comes to Zoran Mandani and his wife and, what happened in New York, it's almost like it's just, let me test the waters. Let me see how everything is moving. Let me see how everybody's reacting. I don't like stuff like that. I'm telling y'all, this man right here, and this again, I truly don't understand. It's not me bashing nobody, but this is very important. Y'all got somebody that's in office that barely know how to speak English, bro, in America. Like, I truly find it crazy. I don't know about y'all, but me personally, I find it crazy. Now I can see if you got a little accent, you sound like this, you sound like that, and me personally, I'm not gonna change. I don't like, somebody had comments said, oh, I don't like the way Recklezz talking, this, that, and that. That's how I talk. But I promise you, y'all, 9 times out of 10, y'all gonna know exactly what I'm saying. This individual right here, I'm telling y'all, no dice. Check it out.
Let me say to the federal agencies and the ICE.
Bro didn't even know what he was going to say. I promise y'all, he did not know what he was going to say. It took him that long to, man, this is, y'all vote for individuals like this. Ain't no way. Ain't no way.
This is Oregon. We do not need you. You're not welcome. And you need to get the hell out of our community. Let me say to the
I'm gonna play it again.
Federal agencies and the ICE.
I can't. I don't know. I don't see how people. I don't see how people do this. I don't see how people do it. Who vote? I want to meet the people who voted this man in. I want some. I'm hoping somebody come across my video that voted for this man. I gotta have a talk with you. I gotta have a talk. I want to know why exactly Why exactly y'all got like I'm confused. I'm confused. I'm truly confused. I'm telling y'all, President Trump said it best.
How about in Minnesota? They come from Somalia, but they come from all over. They're all crooked in Minnesota. The governor's crooked. The attorney general's a crook. He's a thief. Terrible guy. All stupid, crooked people. And they came in from, in this case, Somalia is just terrible. A lot of people say it's the worst country anywhere in the world. They have no money, no nothing. They have no government. They have no police. They just shoot each other all day long. It's just pure bedlam. Probably the worst, most dangerous country. We have some beauties. They go to Minnesota, and they stole $19 billion. $19 billion. And they're low IQ. Generally, I mean, I can generalize. They're low IQ people. They're bad people. They have 94% unemployment. In other words, they don't want to work. You know, get a lot of jobs available, right, with the economy. They don't want to work. Why would they work? And they sold more Mercedes-Benzes than any state in the union, because they come here with no money, and they go out, they love a Mercedes-Benz, and they go out and buy Mercedes-Benzes. And I think you're going to get to the bottom of it real easy, and every one of them should be. And Ilhan Omar, who married her husband, married her brother became her husband. When she has to check a book, she says, any brothers? One. Any husband? One. She checks 2 people. So on top of everything else, she gets a double income tax cut. She's a stone cold crook, and everybody knows it. And the papers, they have one paper out in particular. The guy made a living writing about her, and I spoke to him. He said, but nobody does anything about it, sir. All you have to do is get his writings from the Indianapolis Star or whatever paper he works for. You don't even have to do anything. This guy spent 10 years investigating that crook. And you got to do something about it, or our people are going to get they're already upset. Takes too long. So, JD, you go do it. And Russell, you better do it.
And y'all see it. One thing about it, I ain't going to lie to y'all, they on top of it. They on top of it, and we are soon to see something happen, and I can't wait. I'm telling y'all, I truly can't wait. Says right here, should Ilhan Omar be removed from Congress and deported to Somalia? Me personally, you already know the answer to that. If you don't know, trust and believe. Somebody in the comments is going to tell you. You already know how I feel. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Let me know how y'all feel. I'm going to try to get to everybody's comments. I definitely appreciate y'all and love y'all so much. I truly been going through some things, man. I've been going through, and ladies, you know, I say man a lot. But I definitely appreciate y'all. You know, I truly do for everything that y'all do. You know, truly. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Definitely appreciate y'all. Stay tuned for the next banger dropping tonight. Catch y'all next one.